I saw Citizen Kane on television for the first time. And I began to become aware of editing and camera positions. And what I guess happened there, of course, is that what he did, Wells, was literally, he was not afraid of being self-conscious with the camera and making self-referential remarks with the camera and literally letting the audience understand, yes, the camera is looking through the floor up into the ceiling. But Wells did this, and he did it with such conviction and with such brilliance that you began to realize, I see the camera moves. And I began noticing camera movement because he used that wide-angle lens a great deal. And if you use a wider-angle lens and you move quick enough, you see the walls speeding past you, you know. And this is what I think Wells brought to cinema, to American cinema particularly, because up to that time, it was the seamless film, in a way. The hidden camera, the camera that you couldn't tell was there. Wells was the one to really open up the Pandora's box of cameras flying up in the air. In a funny way, I guess, picking up where silent films left off, the enigma of the film. The odd thing about the picture, and I've seen it countless times, you know, the enigma of it is Kane itself, Kane himself. You don't know him. You can't get to know him. He's afraid of knowing himself. He's afraid of letting anything out that might be indicative of his feelings, his emotions. And he's not passive, though. He's not passive, but he's got this wall up that, now how many times I've seen the picture, I cannot get, I can't really feel for him as much as I did in the beginning. But in the beginning, when I first saw the film many times, I was feeling more for Orson Welles himself, acting in the film. I liked him personally. You know, the same way you liked him as Harry Lime in The Third Man, where he plays a despicable character. You know, and yet you like him. There's an attraction about him. But after repeated viewings over, 30 years, 40 years, you begin to notice that the character of Kane is held back. Pretty much, they approach it in the scene where he slaps Costello Dolores Costello in the tent. She says, "Oh, this is you it's being done to," she says. That's as close as he gets, I think, to letting out that emotion. Of course, there's the moment where he wrecks her room, too. But that's why it's interesting, the search for Rosebud, you know, search for Rosebud. But I found it over the years that if the film holds you back, in other words, you can't get into his character. You really can't.